Okay, we have a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. Why don't we begin with a quick review of our strategy map? Bill, could you call that up?
Sure.
Thanks. So to give an overview, our financial objectives are currently yellow or slightly below plan. Our customer objective is green, as are the industry, innovation, and customer relations themes in the internal perspective. Operations is yellow. We'll go into detail, but I think we've been slightly off on our cost estimates. And our learning and growth objective is green, thanks to all the work we've been doing in training. I thought we'd start by taking a closer look at some of those yellows. Bill, why don't you start us off with the financial picture?
Sure. In general, we've stayed on track with our projections. Profits are up 10% over fiscal 2007, making for 14 straight quarters of double-digit profit increase. So we're keeping analysts and shareholders happy.
Sounds rosy to me, Bill. So why isn't this objective green?
And also, if everything's going so well, what's the message to the staff to let them know what we need to do better?
Increasing profits 10% is a great message to share with employees and shareholders. But this objective is coded yellow because we, as a leadership team, we're looking to do better than 10%.
So where were we off?
Well, if we drill down to the data, you can see that our revenues grew 8% year over year to $3.45 billion.
Well, as far as the pavilion revenues are concerned, our numbers were right on course. In fact, better than expected.
All I know is my property managers are as busy as they've been in some time.
You're both right, but you've got to break it down a little more. These numbers include sales, conference revenues, rentals, and retail space, all of which are meeting or exceeding targets. But that isn't the case with occupancy rates.
Excuse me, Bill, but the pavilion's occupancy rate is 15% higher than expected.
Sure, but maybe that's not the best metric. Doesn't 15% include promotions like stay 3, get 4 for free? Average paid occupancy might give a better picture.
This is the first time I've seen these occupancy numbers, so I'm not prepared to comment on our other properties.
You actually had these numbers in the balanced scorecard report I circulated with the reminder for this meeting.
Okay, look, we're not here to put anybody on the spot. This is our first strategy review with this tool. By next time, I'm sure that we'll all be in the habit of reviewing Bill's reports. For now, Bill, why don't you two take it as an action item for Cindy to analyze occupancy numbers and report back to me. More detail on the loyalty program would also be very helpful. Bill, can you take us into the customer perspective?
Sure.
Where is Jen, by the way?
Kids' soccer game, I think.
Lisa, what are you telling these people about work-life balance? They think we mean it?
We do, Jim. How was your parent-teacher conference yesterday?
Oh, right. Went well, thanks.
Actually, Jen gave me her stuff and asked me to cover for her. According to her, for the 4th straight quarter, we had a record number of stays in our loyalty program. Both more guests are becoming registered members, and those already registered spending more nights with us. So that measure is also green.
Well, if it's green, let's move on to other parts of the scorecard.
Well, even though they're also green, since it's still a new concept, can we take a little time and talk about the pavilion to make sure we understand why it's been so successful?
I can talk to an element of that. Can we drill into the innovation objective? From a strict operations point of view, the pavilion has been a runaway hit. With longer stays, we've been able to reduce the cost to service the rooms.
What I'm wondering is if these long-term customers are new to the Grand Hotel family.
We should get Jen to check on customer segmentation.
Okay, then. Why don't you take that as an action item and work with Jen?
No problem. Now, one more thing before we leave the pavilion. Have you all seen the great press we've been getting? Hotels Magazine, Hospitality Upgrades, even USA Today.
I see them in your daily emails, Patrick, on your whopping 3 pilot hotels. I'm putting together some reading materials for you in my 950 properties.
Team, we have more of the scorecard to review, so let's try to stay focused.